Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about how to get a job in Australia and how to migrate to Australia even without getting a job. The video is all about letting you know all you need to do for you to get a permanent resident visa in Australia within the shortest available time. If this is what you want, please stay back and watch this video to the end. My name is Ifeinwa and this is my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the fact that the Australian government has increased their visa availability for skilled workers with 165,000 positions for people who want to come into the country under the independent skilled visa. That's subclass visa that is required if you want to come to the country as a professional to work there. You don't even need to get a job before coming, meaning that this job does not require you to get a visa sponsorship before coming to the Australia. So first of all, let's talk about the new visas that the government is establishing in Australia. They recently launched, because initially they used to cap their visa for international applicants to 35,000 vacancies, but they recently increased it to 195,000, meaning that as much as 165,000 positions are available now for those that want to come into the country to work as experts. So if this is what you want, watch this video to the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share my videos. So first of all is the visa category is known as the skilled independent visa. It is skilled because you need to have the required skill for you to come into the country. Secondly, it is independent. It is independent because you don't need a sponsorship for you to get there. All you need to do is to follow the 5 steps that is required of you and to meet the point-based system so that you can get this job and migrate to Australia. So the first thing you need to do is to look at the shortage occupation list of Australia to check if your job is there. They are looking mostly for engineers, doctors, pharmacists, nurses, midwives, agricultural engineers, IT specialists, pharmacists, different categories of professionals that they are asking for. That is under the skilled independent visa. But for every other visa category in the Australia that you can come in, you may require sponsorship for you to get a job there. But even that job that requires a sponsorship will have to be in the shortage occupation list for you to be able to enter the country under visa, that's under work visa. So first thing you need to do is for you to do what is called that's for you to search the shortage occupation list to make sure that your occupation is there or is related to what you can find on the list. That is the first step. And the second step is what is known as expression of interest. This expression of interest is when you have to do something like eligibility. That eligibility checks your years of practice, the particular job you want to come into the country to do, your English language proficiency, the experience you have gathered so far, the trainings, the academic qualifications that you have gathered, even your English language proficiency. These are the things that are checked in that your eligibility. So in that eligibility is what you will get to the stage of getting the required points-based system. Like in Australia, they require you to have a minimum of 65, but if you are far above that 65, it gives you opportunity to be selected faster, because there are many people who may reach that 65, but you are scoring, if you are scoring something like 85 or 80s, then there are better chances that you will be selected. So once you finish that expression of interest, it will now be submitted to the Skill Select Australia. They are the people that will look through and make sure that you meet all the eligibility criteria. Once you have met with that, they will now send you an invitation. That is the third step, invitation to apply for visa to come to Australia. So if they have sent you that invitation for you to come and apply, then you start making your application. Once your application is successful, the fourth step is invitation for you to present your documents. So once you are, that's after the visa application, you are going to present your document. That's the fourth step. Once your documents are in order, it means it meets all the criterion that they are looking for, then the final stage will be your getting the visa. Once you lay your hands on the visa, then you are moving to Australia under the skilled independent visa. That is the job that does not require visa sponsorship. You don't even need to get a job first before you start going. Once you meet their 65% minimum in their point-based system and you are selected by the skill select, then you do your visa application. If you are successful and the visa is issued to you, then you're on your way to Australia. When you get there, that is when you start looking for a job, because you are in the country as a skilled expert that is coming there to work, not coming as someone that is being sponsored by an organization or a company. So let's also talk about the other different visas that you can come to the Australia with. A lot of them that require visa sponsorship are like a temporal job. They may not really give you permanent resident visa upon entering Australia, but at least if you get a job with sponsorship with a minimum time of work, like 2 years minimum, at least before you finish that one, you would have gotten a better one that will offer you that permanent resident visa. So every other job can come into Australia under their temporal. They have even student visa, that's student graduate visa. If you graduated from Australia, you can stay back and get a job. Or even holiday visa, they have what they call holiday visa. There are visas that are as short as 3 months that will take you into Australia for you to work. But if you are looking at getting a permanent residence upon getting to the country, then the skilled in independent visa is the one for you to go for. So let's quickly talk about the English language requirements for you to get to Australia. For medical professionals, you need a minimum of 7 in each of the band scores in IELTS and also 7 overall, be it academic or general. But if you are coming into the medical profession, I'm sure you are likely to be asked to present the academic IELTS and not the general one. So if you have written IELTS or you are about to write it, make sure that you score the minimum requirement that the Australian government is asking for, Australian immigration is asking for. It will boost your score in the point-based system for you to get to the country. So also let us talk about the benefits of getting a permanent resident in Australia. If you happen to enter Australia as a permanent resident holder, you just have about 4 years for you to convert that visa into that's for you to get Australian citizenship. So number one is that you have access to free healthcare system in Australia, which is a very good healthcare system that is even one of the best in the whole wide world. Not just for yourself, your family will also get that healthcare system access if you have Australian permanent resident visa. Also, you have ability to invite a family member into the country, not just your immediate family member, even your relation can come into the country, maybe for a short stay or holiday or anything like that, meaning that you can sponsor someone to come into the country. Another important benefit of getting Australian citizenship, Australian permanent visa, is that if you have a baby when you have Australian permanent resident visa, that baby automatically becomes a citizen of Australia. Not like in the UK, that even if you have a baby in the UK, once you don't have their passport, that your baby is not yet a citizen of Britain. But it's not like that in Australia. Once you lay your hands on a permanent residency status in Australia, any child you give birth to automatically becomes a citizen. The fourth benefit is that you have the opportunity to improve academically. You have access to everything you need for you to improve career-wise. So it's not like you have to start struggling with so much expenses in terms of fees. They will assist you and give you all the available opportunities for you to excel in your career. Another important benefit is that you have multiple entry. You can travel in and out of Australia whenever you want. And the fifth one being that within 4 years, you are now eligible to apply for your citizenship. So once you get that citizenship or status in Australia, it's a very good opportunity for you to do every other thing and have equal rights as Australian citizens. Also, narrowing it down to medical professionals like nurses in Australia, I'm sure they are earning very good salary. It may not be that much at the beginning, but the more you work, the more you make more money while working there. So let's also talk about the weather in Australia. Australia has a beautiful weather, despite all the fire that we hear about, but it still has a beautiful weather that is not too cold and it's not too warm. So if you are a kind of person that you feel that you cannot survive in a very temperate region, Australia is a very good place for you to go, because the weather is very much friendly. You are never freezing and you are never going to be too hot when you are in there. So let's also talk about the beautiful places in Australia that you can stay. You can stay in Perth, you can stay in Melbourne, you can stay in Sydney. These are all beautiful cities in Australia that when people go on holiday, they are happy. So imagine getting a job and getting your family down to a place like that. I believe you are not going to regret it. Also, it's a very safe place. Their money has value, and it's also a very comfortable place where you can stay, raise a family, earn a living, and even travel to whichever place that you want to go. So if you are in a country that you feel that you are not very much comfortable in that place, just try your hands with Australian visa. It used to be very, very long. It takes about 23 months. That's nearly 2 years for one to get a permanent resident visa to Australia. But with these new visas that they are beginning to issue, the government has also announced that they will increase their staff to about 500 employees in the immigration sector, so as to quicken the process and make it as easy as possible. So make use of this opportunity. It may not come again. So be one of those 165,000 persons that the government is trying to employ. So another one is that if you are like housing is a very big problem in some countries. I must tell you, UK inclusive, if you have ever searched for house in UK, you will find out that it's not an easy task. But the Australian government has also announced that they will build houses because they know that people are coming. They wouldn't want a situation whereby people will come into the country and then they will have no place to stay. So if you are planning to go to Australia and you think that housing may be a problem, just don't worry. The government has that interest at heart to provide. I think they announced about 500 housing units that they are going to provide for those that are coming into the country to work. So make use of this opportunity if that is what you want. Australia is a beautiful place. So thanks for watching my video. Remember to like, subscribe and share, and click on the notification bell so that you will get the latest updates on my videos. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye.